make it on slow carb. Yeah!
So we've been to, not too many of them, probably about 4 or 5 of these bluegrass jams. We've been to a couple of the moderate, bigger size ones. And I will say this, if you're thinking about joining in on them, there's a few things I would suggest. First one is just get to know a few basic chords. Your G, C, G type, those type of thing. There's a lot of really simple songs that people will do. Just know the 1, 4, 5 progressions. Really easy to figure out. The other thing I would recommend is that if there is any hesitation, just don't even think about it. Just have a good time, jump right in, because people are going to be super nice, very welcoming, very accommodating. They're just the friendliest group of people. And the third thing is just join right in. Don't be a spectator. It's one of those things that you have immensely more fun if you actually join in. And the people there, they want you to join in. So the more the merrier. So come on, join us. So let's see, at bluegrass jams, it's almost any instrument that is non-electric. So a lot of people there with guitars, mandolins, banjos. Last time we were at one of these things, somebody came with a dobros. That's like that slide guitar. Let's see. And I think you can bring almost anything as long as it's kind of an acoustic-minded instrument.
Bass, right?
Yeah. Oh, if you have a bass, you're going to be probably the most loved person there, because everybody loves playing with a big old bass. So whatever instrument you have, if you can play, or you're learning more than one of them, bring all of them. All right. So it'll be fun. Hey, you can even bring like a couple of spoons, get you started. You can be the rhythm section. So to get started, there's a couple of books that really helped out. One of them is the Bluegrass Parking Lot Pickers Songbook. The other one is like Bluegrass Banjos Fake Book. So that's kind of cool, because they'll give you the basic chords and it'll give you the melody that you can play along. They have a lot of the old standards, like I'll Fly Away and Will the Circle Be Unbroken. Those are really cool because you can play the group really easily, and then you can sing along, and it's a blast to hang out with people and do those songs. And then later on, what you can do is, you can go to those apps that have all the songs and just type in bluegrass, and you'll have a ton of songs, and then you'll start to develop your own favorites. And I also like a lot of the indie, folksy, newer stuff as well. Anything that just kind of piques your interest or even spurs the imagination, I think that's fun. And then hopefully you can look up chords and the lyrics and just play along before you know it. Yeah, so when you go to these things, what you're going to find is people setting up in a circle, just a kind of general circle, and then sometimes they might have an outer circle and an inner circle, but oftentimes they'll just have one circle. So you go in the circle, and then what we do is we take turns kind of leading the song, leading the next one. So when it's my turn, I'll pick any song that I want, and I'll tell folks, hey, let's go ahead and try this song, and here's the chords, and this is how it goes. And then so you're the one that will just play it, and everybody will get along, and you determine the speed, you'll determine the key that you're in, and also you'll let them know when you want to do breaks or solos. And at that point, what you do is that you go around the circle, and each person can take a turn with what we call a break, which is a little solo section. And then they do that, they play their solo, and then you kind of nod off to the next guy, and he plays that. And if you're not comfortable, just kind of shake it off, or you just kind of flick your head to the next guy, and it'll just go around. And at the very end, how do you know when to stop? Well, there's a few different common ways to do it. One of them is if everybody's watching the lead, then he kind of does a circle thing with his instrument, or he just sticks his foot out, and everybody kind of sees that, and you know that, well, you've got about one little chorus, and then the song's going to be over. So that's just a little bit of just the way we kind of do things, I guess, or they do things, and I'm still learning, but you'll pick up on the little idiosyncrasies, and before you know it, you'll be sticking your foot up and doing this whole thing and the head nods and all that stuff. It's good. They have this thing that they do, and then they call it a circle. And then so what I do is I go in there and I just kind of make sure that they have room in their circle, and most of them just kind of wave you in, or they'll start to scoot their chair so that you'll have some room. And then when I'm away from folks, that's when I'll do the tuning of it. I'll make sure I'm the right key, and then so that way I'm not distracting anybody. I do that away from folks. I try not to be too noisy, and then I step into the circle. When I was first doing it, I was really sort of hesitant about taking in the breaks or any of the little solos. But what you can do is that if you don't know how to totally solo and then just shred up and down the fretboard, that's okay. I don't either. What you can do is just play your chords, and when it gets to your turn, just do the rolls and play your chords, and then just do them just a little bit louder than you normally do. Normally when it's time to do the break, then everybody just does simple strumming and they do it really quietly, and the person that's doing the solo, they crank it up a notch, volume and just fanciness. And when they're done, they'll just quiet it down and just play just really simple chords, strumming or something like that. And then when it's your turn, just play a little louder and just play whatever you can. And like I said, if you don't know anything too fancy, don't worry about it. Just start off just playing your chords and just doing some basic rolls and just having a good time. And then before you know it, you're soloing. All right.